Well, welcome to a new Team CGC 9.8 video. Today's video, we're finishing off my CGC 9.8 collection, so it's box number 3 of my entire CGC 9.8 collection. If you haven't checked out box number 1 and box number 2, I'll throw the links up, and yeah, those were really fun. And had a couple inquiries and questions about my collection and, you know, how many CGC 9.8s I had and stuff like that. So I thought it would just be good to show everyone my collection over kind of 3 videos here. So this is box number 3. If you haven't already, I'd invite you to join the team and subscribe to Team CGC 9.8 too, our comic book collecting team. And when you press subscribe, the bell pops up. Hit the bell for all their latest notifications. Add me on Instagram too. All those links are in the description below here. One thing to say about this box is it's a plastic graded comic book box. So I decided to kind of try this out for my last box when I had to buy some more storage. And this is the BCW graded comic book box. And yeah, you know what? I'm actually pretty happy with this thing. You know, fits together really tightly. It kind of takes a little bit of time to put together because it fits really tight, which is kind of what you want. You don't want the bottom kind of falling out or anything like that. And they're stackable too. I'm just gonna stick it up here. It's easier. They're stackable, quite easy to get together. You know, a nice opening on the top here. You know, I don't think they're like airtight or anything, but you know, when the graded comic books are in the plastic sleeves taped back, they're pretty much airtight. So you just kind of, you know, need something to keep them in. Obviously, keeps the light out, which is good too. So yeah, actually, probably I'll get another BCW graded box as my next one. There seem to be about even the same price as the CGC. For some reason, the cardboard graded comic box with CGC like on the box are like really expensive. They're almost as expensive as this. So I forget the exact price. I think it was like 40 or 50 bucks. But anyway, entire collection. So, starting off this kind of entire collection video, I want to show you a brand new comic I just got in yesterday that decided to not unbox it on camera, just kind of unboxed it. So, I'm going to show you that one first. It's kind of cool. But yeah, it's another Wolverine number 88 that I grabbed on an auction, and it ended up being, what was it, $76 Canadian. Which I believe turned is about $54 American, because I did buy it in Canada, so shipping was really cheap for me too. Yeah, just one popped up in an auction in Canada, and so Wolverine number 88. I have a Wolverine 88, and we'll see the other one eventually in this box. But this is the first time Deadpool and Wolverine fight. Really classic Adam Kubert cover too. That definitely gets cooler with time and is a great cover. This one I think was newly encapsulated because the difference between this one from my other Wolverine 88, they're both the deluxe edition, but it actually says deluxe edition here on the CGC label, whereas my other Wolverine 88 I think, you know, must have been graded maybe a year or two ago or something like that. It doesn't say deluxe edition. They weren't distinguishing it then, even though they both are deluxe editions. Because the regular edition, apparently I've read a blog where there's only like 4 or 5 regular editions in the CGC 9.8, and the last one sold for, I believe it was like 400 and something American. So very rare the regular edition to this, but just to have, yeah, I really love that cover, and it's just a classic 90s book. And yeah, you know me, I'm just all about those nostalgic 90s covers, one I remember from when I was a kid. Next book in the collection, Ultimate Fallout 4. Yeah, first new Spiderman, first Miles Morales. Lucky to grab this one recently. And some of this book, or some of this box is some of my recent buys, I would say, but still, you know, some older buys I get in here. Kind of a random box, more of a random box, whereas my first box was Spider-Man and second box Batman. This is kind of everything else, I guess. But really happy to have an Ultimate Fallout 4. First Miles Morales. I think, yeah, first new Spider-Man out of modern key issues. I think that's kind of one to grab in a CGC 9.8 as a kind of investment grade book, pretty much. So a really great, awesome cover that I was really happy to get was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 95. This is the Comics and Ponies edition, the Virgin variant by Kevin Eastman. And just with 95, there's sort of this variant, and then there's the SDCC variant, which is quite very, very rare and really expensive. This is pretty rare too. I think I'm pretty sure that this was limited to 750 copies. This book here, this variant. But out of the variants, this is my favorite variant, just, visually, and, it's a Kevin Eastman cover too, and usually the Eastman ones end up being the ones that are quite popular. Although the SDCC one is cool, it's a Watcher, a Dave Watcher cover, I think is his name, who does the art on that one. And yeah, that one didn't appeal to me as much, and it's a lot more expensive, a little more rare. But this is kind of the sweet spot for me, and this one's signed too. I think would be really cool, like just with an Eastman sign. With the, I saw there was only a couple of those on the census too, whereas there's quite a few of these. But yeah, this is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 95 is where Jennika becomes a Ninja Turtle as well. Oh shit! Let's mess that up. Okay. And another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 95, and this is the cover A first print of that issue, where Jennika becomes a Ninja Turtle for the first time. So yeah, this is one I kind of identified in my other videos as one to, grab while you can, and I got a couple raw copies of this book as well that I'm going to do a whole video where I just kind of show all my Jennika books, because I bought a lot of raw books too of them that I didn't do any like unboxing videos or anything. But cover A of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 95, first print, I'm always just kind of I like to get the first print, even though I did get a variant, obviously. And you know what? I got another copy of 95 in the first print that, I picked this one up, I think it was for $95, which was looking like a good price compared to the last bunch that had sold, and my other one was a little more expensive, so... Jennika, I just kind of, I wanted to buy these now while they're 100, because I do have a feeling over time, there's a good chance they won't just, be around $100. Next book is more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Alright, yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 51. This is the first appearance of Jennika. So Jennika becomes a Ninja Turtle in 95, the ones we just looked at. This is the first appearance of Jennika ever, who was kind of introduced as a Foot Clan soldier. Only in issue 95 she gets Leonardo's blood and becomes a Ninja Turtle. So I really like this cover too. There's the retail incentive kind of sketch cover of this issue that's really cool too, that I've been sort of looking at lately. But this cover in the full color, Ken Gehring does the cover, and in the full color though looks really good. This is the first print of the issue. If you notice, they don't put a first appearance of Jennika here. I don't know if it was just such a minor appearance maybe at first, and they didn't really plan for her to gain popularity in the series and become the first female Ninja Turtle, but yeah, according to my research, this is the first appearance of Jennika. And cool cover, so that's really why I kind of went after this one, is, kind of an up-and-coming first appearance and a really cool cover. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 seems to sort of have a lack of key issues to collect, I find, compared to like a Spider-Man. Like if you like Spider-Man and Batman, there's like countless key issues, where if you're a Turtles fan, it's like first issue, second issue, and then, there's not too much after that. Got another one. Yep, first print, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 51, first appearance of Jennika. Just, one I bought for $77, I think, and the other was $100 even. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to get them before I think, at one point in time these will probably get hot, but who knows when that will happen. But cool covers too, really happy to kind of get some Ninja Turtle keys. Alright, next book is Wolverine Limited Series number 1. Was really happy to pick up this book, and kind of, there's probably 4 or 5 or 6 sellers that I really watch kind of week to week that regularly post CGC 9.8 books. I actually made a video kind of talking about my favorite eBay sellers, so kind of look for that in the archives for sure. But Wolverine #1 limited series is popped up from one of my favorite sellers, and great colors on this one, nicely centered. Kind of just couldn't turn it down, and it was in an auction format, and I was, a competitive bid. Because it had really good colors, and I knew it wasn't going to go for really, really cheap, so I just put a competitive bid, and hopefully I won it, and I did. Yeah, great book to have, though. This is the first solo Wolverine comic. So kind of first comic with Wolverine. Yeah, there's a lot of them in the CGC 9.8, but it's just because Wolverine's so popular. $276 that was. American, we're talking to all these prices. Next book, get into Wolverines here. Wolverine #8. And classic Hulk Wolverine cover. I think with Incredible Hulk 181, sort of, the book's just so hot, and Hulk Wolverine, obviously, first full appearance of Wolverine. But kind of any Hulk Wolverine collaboration, I think, is a pretty great buy, and this is a super nostalgic cover for me too. I've had a copy of this since I was maybe 8 years old, and I still got that copy too. So just a cover I remember from when I was a kid, and then Hulk and Wolverine becoming such prominent that I think it's a pretty great buy in the CGC 9.8. Yeah, they go for about like 120, 130 American in an auction. If you want it right now, it's like pushing 200, like some of those buy it nows for that one. But if you wait for an auction, you can get them for, seen them go for kind of like 123, 130 kind of thing. All right, here's the other one, Wolverine #88. And first Wolverine Deadpool battle. Big Deadpool fan, and kind of my feeling on some of these covers is like, Wolverine and Hulk were sort of that Bronze Age duo that just burst on the scene, and then Wolverine Deadpool maybe like passing the torch a bit and can become a really cool duo, I think. And there's always that wild card in the MCU. Some of these rumors that X-Men's coming back, because that X-Men could be coming back to the MCU, Disney, and Deadpool as well. So these issues would do really well if there was a kind of a Deadpool X-Men crossover, I would think. This one doesn't have deluxe edition there as the first one that I showed you that I just grabbed. So, but really happy to have two of what I think is kind of a pretty underfollowed issue, and not really like an obvious key, but that one I bought for $100. Yeah, that was $100, and then the one I got on auction was $54 American. Yeah, got a pretty good deal around. Yeah, next book, Wolverine 155. Pretty much like an Incredible Hulk 340 cover homage. Deadpool appearance in Wolverine. I like these Deadpool appearances in this Wolverine series. Pretty much like this one and the Wolverine #88, the Deadpool cover. These are the two Deadpool covers in the Wolverine series to get if you're kind of a Deadpool Wolverine fan like I am. Kind of an Incredible Hulk 340 cover homage too, with the reflection in Deadpool's blade. And price wise on this, like one of my kind of someone on the team here had messaged me and showed that they grabbed one of these. I think it was like $48 or $45 US in an auction. So with shipping and everything, maybe like a little bit over $50 if you're in the States. If you get super lucky on this book. I've seen this book go for like $75 in an auction too. And I purchased mine for, it was like $100. It was a full retail price. It was pretty much $110, $115, I think it was. Decent. Like I think some might go for a little bit more than that. But if you're patient on this issue, you can find it for pretty cheap. And it's again, right now they're so underfollowed and quite cheap. I would recommend some of those Deadpool Wolverine crossovers in the Wolverine series. Yeah, next book, classic key issue, Star Wars #1 in the CGC 9.8 white pages, 30-cent version. Yeah, not, there's the 35-cent version where apparently there was 1,500 of those printed, according to my Overstreet price guide. So, with, the mere mortals kind of just stick to the 30-cent version. But yeah, good to have a 9.8. Pretty rare on the census. There's only I think maybe 500-600 of these, maybe a little bit more. Good, decent CGC 9.8 ratio because it is from 1977. So yeah, whenever you can get like a mid-70s book in the CGC 9.8 for a decent price, and I mean decent price saying these are going for about 900. Rise of Skywalker, I did a video on this a couple weeks ago about Star Wars comics, where now that Rise of Skywalker is heating up, your chance to kind of buy Star Wars comics at like a decent price, might be a little bit harder during this environment. So, be careful, but I still think it's a really cool book to have. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they do during Rise of Skywalker, if Rise of Skywalker does well. Yeah, I also got Star Wars 42, first appearance of Boba Fett and Yoda, and it's the kind of the part of the Empire Strikes Back movie adaptation. And yeah, classic Boba Fett cover, 9.8 white pages in the old case. Really nice book though. Yeah, super like flat and white pages, basically a pristine copy. Yeah, I don't mind sometimes these old cases. Not like no Newton rings on this book too. I find sometimes in the old cases, yeah, there's usually less Newton rings. But yeah, this is a book I've almost kind of bought too. There's the newsstand version, which I've seen auctions of and have really thought hard about bidding and grabbing another one of these. Because yeah, first Boba Fett. Boba Fett's really kind of the most popular Star Wars character, I think. Obviously, you got the Mandalorian shows coming out now too, which is yeah. And I kind of I don't really like it to kind of recommend to buy in those environments when there's a lot of promotion, but I was recommending kind of 3-4 months ago to buy these Star Wars books. So, all right, next book is a Star Wars number 76. Really cool Darth Vader cover. I think there's a couple other Star Wars comics that I want to grab just because they're cool Darth Vader covers, pretty much. Because yeah, besides like number 1 and number 42, there's not too many other keys. There are rare ones in the CGC 9.8. Some of the like issues in the 90s and the 100s I think are quite rare. But yeah, this is Death of Admiral Tower. And this is, I think, the second CGC 9.8 I ever bought, and it was just literally because it was a really cool Darth Vader cover, I just thought. And yeah, I just remember really wanting a 9.8 and kind of seeing what they were all about, I guess. Nice issue, yep. Kind of cool to have any Darth Vader cover, I'm cool with that. I had showed a picture on my Instagram of this one. Yeah, make sure to follow on Instagram. Check out my link in the description below. Getting a little more active on Instagram than more so than Twitter nowadays. But yeah, Star Wars 81, which is the Return of Boba Fett, and like the coolest classic painted cover, I think. Just did a really good job on the painted cover. You got the Millennium Falcon, you got Boba Fett, and that's Return of Boba Fett is what it says there. So it is kind of certainly a secondary key issue. And yeah, there's that other Boba Fett issue where, I forget which number that is, maybe in the 60s. It's the yellow back cover, which is the other sort of Boba Fett secondary key issue, I would say. This is kind of the other one. So if you're a huge Boba Fett, I guess all I really need is that yellow cover, and I'll have kind of all the Boba Fett covers in a 9.8. So that could be something interesting to think about. Look out for that. But yeah, this is one I would totally go after if you were just a big Star Wars fan and maybe you had a nice number 1 and you were pretty happy. Maybe even if you're a rock comic collector and you had a number 1 and a number 42. Definitely Star Wars 81 is one to go after. Classic painted cover, kind of underfollowed too. Next book, Teen Titans number 12. Yeah, I was happy to grab this book. First full appearance of the Batman Who Laughs. You can see him in the background there. And yeah, I think definitely Batman Who Laughs is, out of modern villains, probably one of the most popular modern villains I could think of, you know, that's certainly come out in the last kind of 3-4 years, I would say. So popular that they gave him his own mini-series. That just wrapping up maybe a couple months ago now. Scott Snyder Batman Who Laughed mini-series, which was a pretty good success, I would say. And this book got really, really hot. You know, the Dark Knight's Metal came out, which was really popular, and then I think as time went on, everyone just realized that the Batman Who Laughs was the coolest character that came out of that. And this book got really hot. Now in the CGC 9.8, I saw one sell for $255, but while the Batman Who Laughs series was going on 3-4 months ago, many had sold for $350 and $320 and $325, and that was kind of the price that they were going for on eBay then. But I'd since seen one sell for $255. Hadn't ran into one of these on some of our research for the pricing video, so I'm not sure how much they went for in the past couple of weeks, but I kind of grabbed this just before I think the Batman Who Laughs really started to take off. So I think mine was 300 Canadian, which is going to put it, you know, probably just under 200 American is what I grabbed mine at, just before it really took off towards 300 American. But yeah, coming down closer to 250 to 200 for this book, I think is a good stab. That kind of puts it in like really popular modern book territory in that 250-ish range. Like Young Avengers #1, which is like first appearance of all the Young Avengers. That one's like in the CGC 9.8 goes for about 250. And I could see that basically settling into about a 250 price for quite a long time actually. So yeah, I wouldn't really chase it over 300. Alright, next book, Deadpool #1 from 1997. And really fan of just the colors in the first kind of 10 issues of this Deadpool run. And I was happy to kind of grab the first issue. Kind of an opportunistic buy. It wasn't really one that, you know, not one that I would like totally recommend someone to buy or anything, but it was kind of popped up from a favorite seller, and I think I had purchased a couple other books with this one too. First appearance of T-Ray and Blindell, though, so you get kind of, you know, some wild card first appearances in there. Who knows if those kind of characters could become really popular in an MCU movie or something like that. You never know. But yeah, just this is a wraparound cover too. It's kind of, you know, a bit of an it's like a wraparound cover, and then all you see is like a big beast's back. So I don't know, probably not the best wraparound cover, but yeah, I just really like the cover, to be honest, and it's a giant size in a new case. So happy to have Deadpool #1, and it goes really good with my New Mutants 98 CGC 9.8 white pages. And this is a book I grabbed from another kind of favorite seller that had put it up, and I think it was 2-3 weeks ago, one of my favorite sellers threw up the New Mutants 98 like this, but a newsstand version. And I made a couple big buys lately, so I have to kind of stop at some point. So I was really tempted to go after that one, though, and the newsstand version would have made a good pair to this one. This one's in the direct version with really nice colors. Yeah, a little bit off-centering this one, which kind of annoys me about this issue in some ways, because there's so many of them that you can afford to be picky with kind of the centering in this issue, because there's just a lot of CGC 9.8s out there. And New Mutants 98, first appearance of Deadpool, classic Rob Liefeld cover. Can't go wrong, really. Yeah, next book's a really cool book. Alright, yep, Spawn #1, of course. And, this one in the direct version, so this is about $100 you can grab this one for in the CGC 9.8. Nice Spawn #1, if you're kind of a nostalgic Spawn fan, I'd totally recommend to get one. It's always nice just to have a prime Spawn, CGC 9.8. But I have a newsstand version, a raw version of Spawn #1, and, if you're a really serious Spawn collector, if you really love Spawn, the newsstand version of Spawn #1 in the CGC 9.8 is certainly the one to get. But right now I only have in a CGC 9.8 this one, and I'm still pretty much actively hunting the Spawn #1 newsstand. I do got a raw copy, one that's very high grade too. I bet it's a 9.6 probably. Alright, next book. Spawn Batman. This is one of kind of my favorite issues at a, you know, a good price too that you can get. Spawn Batman, you know, the best thing is like Todd McFarlane cover and art, so you get Todd McFarlane Batman art, which is cool. He doesn't do a lot of Batman. And yeah, Frank Miller does the story. And obviously kind of a Batman The Dark Knight Returns cover homage too. And, you know, it's one thing to do a cover homage, but then to get Frank Miller to do the story too is really cool too. So, yeah, this book too, if you wait in an auction, like you can get it about for about $100, like maybe even less too. The signed books of this end up going for a lot more. You know, Frank Miller, Todd McFarlane signed book of this, I believe is like, yeah, pushing $1,000 maybe. Like I think people are asking that anyway and buy it now. You probably don't see too many auctions of those, but yeah, I just think one for like $100 if you don't have it and you really like Spawn and Batman, which they're pretty much like in my top 3 favorite superheroes. So yeah, this is the one to get. Better than I think there's like Spawn, Batman, War Child or something like that. There's another one. I'd recommend this one way much over that. I'd rather buy like 3 or 4 of these before I ever bought another one of those, or a Spawn War Child or whatever. Spawn Batman War Child. I think that's what it's called. I forget, to be honest. Alright, Avengers 684. This is a comic book I purchased at my local Comic-Con. Yeah, I still got the price here, but Hulk gets his immortal Hulk powers in this book. And yeah, it was kind of great to grab this one, and it's, you know, 9.8 white pages at my local con, because I had purchased this book on eBay, and the seller didn't package it good, and it ended up coming damaged, and I had to do a return. And yeah, so I kind of had it, but then I had to return it, so it kind of left a sour taste in my mouth a bit. But then at my local con, albeit there was one for a decent price too, 120 Canadian too. So that's like what, I don't know, $80 American. Not bad for yeah, really cool cover. First Immortal Hulk ever. My first time Hulk gets his immortal powers, hulking out on the cover. And yeah, I kind of went with this book because I really liked this book here. And this is the first book I got out of the 2. But yeah, Immortal Hulk #1, the classic Alex Ross cover homage. Yeah, it's the Hulk #105 cover homage. Yeah, just the more I saw this cover, I was just really, really liked it. Just how obviously a modern book, but kind of how classic it looks in a modern way, which is kind of the sweet spot for me, I would say, with comic books nowadays. And great cover, Alex Ross, first print. Yeah, wanted to grab it. Sort of, I think, yeah, I got it like it was kind of a decent deal, but it was one that I was kind of looking for, so just decided to pounce and buy that one. Okay, and yep, last book here. Okay, last book. That's a good one too. Well, gotta grab it right at the end. All right, yeah, gotta have a Killing Joke, eh? And the CGC 9.8. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them out there for sure. But yeah, still pretty happy to have one for sure. First print. There's a lot of prints too. Like some of these like other prints are becoming, they're even more rare and some even more sought after, which seems kind of weird to me. Although, yeah, so many of these on the CGC census. I haven't looked recently, but I remember doing a video a couple months ago. Yeah, there's a lot of these on the census, but classic cover and classic Joker story. And yeah, it's what is it? Joker cripples Barbara Gordon. So yeah, this is probably like if you're a Batman fan, this is one of, I kind of followed the stereotype. This is one of the first CGC 9.8s to kind of get, in a way, because there's a lot of them. There's a lot out there, and it's like $175 American, I would say, is a fair price. Alright, Batman the Killing Joke is the last book. Yeah, most of this box, some of my newer kind of unboxes are in this box, as far as kind of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ones, I would say, too. But yeah, that's it. Okay, so box 3, that is my entire CGC 9.8 collection, and I don't even think for 9.8. Yeah, I don't think I have bought anything else at this time too, just because I purchased it was 1,980 for that Amazing Spider-Man 300 CGC 9.8, and before that I bought like the first Carnage and the Amazing Spider-Man 252 as well in the CGC 9.8. So those were pretty expensive too. So probably chillax a bit on the buying, but that being said, I think I'm pretty much hardcore watching another comic that's going to be a lot of money. So don't want to speak too early. Glad to show my box number 3 here, my entire CGC 9.8 collection though. So yep, definitely check out box number 1 and box number 2. And if you haven't already, I'd totally invite you to join the team and subscribe to our comic book collecting team here at Team CGC 9.8. And yeah, press subscribe, that bell will pop up, hit the bell, get all our latest notifications. Yeah, I got a ton of video ideas, I was realizing. Like, it's hard to be like, okay, I got to do this today, and then that's more like I definitely got like 2 or 3 weeks of really solid video ideas, I think. So yeah, make sure you get those notifications and subscribe for sure. Thank you very much for watching today, though. Yeah, so happy I could kind of show everyone all my CGC 9.8s. And yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support, too. Thanks for all the comments. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I really want to show my appreciation to everyone out there for all the support and subscribing. And yeah, so thanks for watching today, and I will see you on the next video.